friends. Hope you're doing well. Subscriber update. I'm gonna show you this just so you know that I'm not lying. Where's it at? Can you see? Oh, this way. Focus. Will it focus? I don't know. It's not. Doesn't want to focus. I'm at 1,999 subscribers as of this recording. And I'm drinking Dr. Zevia today. Zevia, weird. It's been months. Give me some free stuff. Anyway, yeah, so when I hit 2,000 subscribers, there goes the air conditioning right on time. Perfect. Well, it's not air conditioning, it's heat. But anyway, when I get 2,000 subscribers, I want to tell a story about the time I pooped my pants at Adventureland in Des Moines, Iowa. So that's probably coming the next day or two. Anyway, how are you doing? I don't think I'm doing great. I'm doing okay. I'm surviving, which is really the most anyone can ask for right now, I suppose. So if you are also just barely surviving, then keep on keeping on, I guess. But like, I realized like today, maybe it was yesterday, I've been thinking a lot about like why, I feel so, and it's like obviously pandemic, obviously we're not even gonna get into the whole Russia shit, but I just feel like I haven't been like happy with the work I'm doing. I don't feel like I'm not proud of it. Like, it doesn't feel good. I don't want to share any of it because I think it all looks not great, and I just don't feel like working on anything. And I think part of that is like I'm not doing as much photo as I used to do, and photo I think is the thing I'm better at than, because I think when I do filmmaking projects, or video making projects, whatever you want to call them, when I do video stuff, and it's like all on me, I feel like I have a really hard time being the producer, the filmer, and the editor. Like, I'm okay at filming. Like, I'm pretty good at lighting. But like everything else, I'm like just okay at. Like, I've got a good eye. Like, I have like the makings of a good cinematographer from my photography background, but photo and video are two very different beasts. And so I feel like there's definitely a gap. I know Ira Glass talks about this, and if you haven't heard that quote, just Google Ira Glass gap, and it works for like everything. But basically, Ira Glass puts out that there's a gap. Like, when you start doing things, you have good taste, and then there's what you want to make, and what you're making isn't this, and you have to cross that gap by doing a lot of work. And I think the problem is that I'm not getting enough opportunities to do the work. And also, it's like the work I am doing is not necessarily the work I want to be doing, but I also like don't really know what work I want to be doing anymore. I think I'm leaning towards like YouTube being the thing I want to be doing, and so maybe I should really focus on that. And this channel is really not geared towards that. This channel it doesn't, like every now and then I'll get a little spicy with the no talking videos where I used to, and so that's kind of part of the reason I want to bring them back, is that I can gussy up the cinematography a little bit and play with lights, play with some blue lights, or color lights, and do some weird stuff in general. But so it's just like, I would also like to get paid, and YouTube does not pay great unless you are one of the higher echelons. And I don't think, there are some ASMR channels that do like gangbuster numbers, and good for them. I don't think this channel will ever be one of them, and if it gets there, great. But yeah, I have fun just rambling at the camera, and people seem to like watching it, so I'll keep doing it as long as it keeps being fun. So, yeah. So it's like, okay, well then I have to figure out, what can I do to make YouTube like a viable thing? And it's like, well, ASMR probably isn't the thing. As much as I love all of you, the White Noise channel does much better. But again, that doesn't feel as great because a lot of the most popular videos are like static shots that like some of them look kind of nice, and then some of them are just like snapshot, and then like that's it. And so I've played with doing a little bit more advanced cinematography with that, and mixed results. They haven't done the same numbers as some of the biggest videos I've done. So it's just kind of like, what do you do? It's like, what do I want to do? What I really want to do is like help people do the thing they want to do. I feel like that has always been where I'm strongest, is like as a coach. But the idea of like being a life coach feels kind of gross to me. And so it's like, how can I use my skills to like help people do the thing they want to do and make money? There's a Japanese thing. It's called like it starts with an I. It's like it's like IKAGURU maybe. I don't know how to pronounce it. But it's basically, I don't know, it's 3 or 4 circles. It's like, what are you good at? What does the world need? What do you enjoy doing? And then like what, I don't know if it's like what fulfills you or something, but there's 4 circles there. And so it's like trying to find that intersection. And it's like making photos and videos for small businesses, local businesses, because I really like, Nebraska for all its faults, and it's got a lot of them. I like seeing people succeed. I like helping people succeed. And I think, if I could really do one thing, I'd want to be like a crew member on shoots. Because I feel like that's where I'm best, as like the second in command on a shoot. But I'm also realizing that like with my health issues, like being on my feet for 12 hours a day, like that might not be the best thing for me. So it's like trying to find this niche, and something happy about that. And so, I've having a couple ideas. I've got a movie review YouTube channel, and it's like, yeah, but that's just kind of shitting on stuff, like reviewing movies. It feels more often like it's just critiquing. It's not really creating anything. And with that channel, I kind of want to be geared more towards talking about the things I like. And so I think that's sort of a unique angle, because a lot of critique, a lot of review channels are just like, shit on this. Like, I've never made a film. I don't know how fucking hard it is. Like, I think if you've never been like in the process, you can't really appreciate what goes into it, because it's like, and I, for my level of like, I've only worked with like the biggest crew I've ever worked on where I had any meaningful input is like 10 people, and it's like, okay, 10 people are making decisions like together. Like, if you never worked on a group project in high school or college, like, like it's impossible to get 4 fucking people to agree on shit. Imagine 10 people like trying to agree on shit. And so then you think about like a studio movie where there's 100, 200, 300 people all doing tiny little things, and you're like, it's a fucking miracle any film gets made ever, because like that, there's just so many hands in it, and there's so many millions of decisions that need to get made, that like getting everybody on the same page, like that's fucking mind-blowing, right? So to shit on that, it just seems gross. And it's like, you're also shitting on like the work of like 200 or 300 people, and then all at the behest of like some studio guy who isn't out to make art, he's out to make a buck, and he doesn't really care if the movie's good or not as long as it makes money, so it's like, how can you critique a movie that was only an investment vehicle and it did its job, it recruit, like movie whose only purpose was to make money for the shareholders, and most of the movies do that. So it's like, did it get its budget back and then some? Then it did it 100% A plus, and the more above that it does, the better of a movie it was. But like, you can critique the art of cinema, you know, and that's something completely different. And I think that becomes, if you think of it that way, you're not, you don't want to, like, you're not critiquing things, you're not shitting on things, you're taking them, and you're taking, there's a quote I like by Austin Kleon. He's an author, great author. All of his books are fucking great, read all of them. I think it's Austin Kleon, don't quote me on that, but it says essentially like, he's following an artist, and that is the quote. Okay, so this is it. It's an Austin Kleon quote from another person, and what they talked about in their art wasn't so much creating something new, but taking what they liked and making it bigger. And I think that's what I want that movie channel to be, is taking things I like about movies, taking things I like about cinema and film and TV that's cinematic, which there is, like, that exists. Sopranos, The Wire, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Kidding on Showtime. If you haven't seen that one, oh fuck, that's good. You could even argue like kind of popcorn type shows like Sex and the City would be one. Like, it's still cinematic in a sense. It sort of feels, you know, I feel like if you can't put Sex and the City in the cinematic universe, you can't put Woody Allen movies in the cinematic universe. And you could disengage how you feel about Woody Allen. His movies are still celebrated, even though most of his movies are just kind of like the main character who's just a pseudo person for Woody Allen. Is just an avatar for Woody Allen trying to fuck a young girl, which is all Woody Allen did because he's a fucking gross monster. You could disengage that, and like even some of his like most popular movies, that's the plot line. It's like, older dude tries to fuck a young girl. It's weird and gross, but Midnight in Paris is a fucking banger, and it doesn't have to do with any of that shit. So anyway, so yeah, I think that's what the movie channel is. But like, that's not, I'm interested in that, and I love that side of cinema, you know. Every Frame of Painting was really big in my mind, Kirby Ferguson. But it's like, I look at what goes into that, and I kind of feel there's like an imposter syndrome of like, I can't fucking do that. Like, these guys have such good insight, and I'm just like, oh, the movie with the guy, I like it. You know, and it's like, well, how do you get from here to there? Like, just the fucking gap. So maybe I just gotta like realize there's gonna be a gap and just start talking about fucking shit I like about movies and see where it takes me. You know, do it for a year and just kind of see how it goes. So there's that, and then I have the White Noise channel, which we already talked about that, and then I have a channel about filmmaking and stuff. And I think the problem I have there is that there's just so much of that on YouTube. There's so much, you know, that seems to be the go-to, is like, if you're a filmmaker, you make YouTubes about filmmaking, and that's kind of what you do. And it's like, yeah, I don't feel like most of the people that have filmmaking channels are doing a lot of like actual work out in the real world. And then there's also this disconnect of like, the stuff I make, I don't feel like is that big, is that complicated. And it's like, okay, well, doing stuff on the small end, like, should it just be geared towards YouTubers? And if that's the case, then like, fuck, I know, you know, plenty to talk about all kinds of shit. Because I have a bit of a background in marketing, because I do a lot of marketing work, and I have a bit of a background in filmmaking. I know how to light shit, I know how to make stuff blue in the background for not a lot of money. Because this whole lighting setup I've got going on is like $500, which in the scheme of things is not that expensive. I mean, the camera was like 10 grand, so, and the microphone's $300. Like, this shit adds up, but you can still make good shit with a phone, and I can show you how to do that if you want to. It really is just like, use the back camera, and fucking have a light, or even if that's a fucking window, sit next to the window and try to have depth in the background. This is a terrible background, I wish, but it's like I am limited, and so I get that, and I could make this better, but I'm also lazy. And this channel, I feel like this channel's more about the authenticity about it. So if I was gonna build a background, I would probably still use a less authentic, well, not less authentic, a more authentic, like, this is my life sort of a background. So yeah, there's that. And so it's just like, okay, well, I could also like get into making films, and I have so many ideas for short films, but like I feel like the local filmmaking scene is just, I don't know about it. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the actor, and it's like, it's hard for me to like critique these people because they're all there's not a lot of experienced people out there, and so that's kind of frustrating. And then also I feel like, there's no money to pay them unless there was money to pay them, and if there was money to pay them, like, I'd have to do something to get that money first. So the question is, what is that thing before I get to the point where I make money so that I can pay these people so that they won't be flakes? You see where I'm at? It's like, okay, well, that could be a phase 2 thing, but like phase 1 needs to be like, how do I get money on a consistent basis that's enough to pay my bills, and then a little bit more. And it's like, okay, that's the big question, is how to do that. And maybe you're thinking about that too. And it's like, could it be maybe disengaged from all the filmmaking? I have time. I could go be one of those people that flip shit, which feels gross, but like, at the same time, like, there are opportunities out there to help someone get what they want, not totally fucking rip them off. And also, like, there's arbitrage out there. Like, I bought a set of Indian clubs for $40, and they're really nice, like old vintage wooden ones, and they swing great. And you would buy them online for like $100, and someone was selling them for $40 because they didn't know what they were. They were like vintage bowling pins, and it's like, no, those are obviously Indian clubs. Like, you obviously didn't know what you bought. You bought them because you thought they were cool from, like, who knows where you got them from, because it was like, when I got them from the person, that was like a big, nice, rich old house. So it was obviously just like antique shopping, and they probably got them for $40 or less, or maybe they spent the $100+ on what they're worth. And so it's like, bing bang right there is like stuff, even if it's part-time, it's like I could do the filmmaking, the photography, the video work part-time, and I could do the YouTube stuff part-time. I could do some flipping part-time. Investing is already on the radar, but like, that's not reliable, consistent income. Like, it has been trending upward. It was like up and then down, and then now it's kind of like, it's a little sideways, but we'll see what it is. A lot of my money is in the GameStop shit. We'll see. I kind of want to see how that plays out. And then like my retirement funds, that's completely disengaged, and that's just a nice slow steady, like, burp burp burp, just putting along. But I'm not, that's retirement money. That's don't touch that money. It's not enough for how old I am and the health problems I already have. So leave that alone. Like, that's the safe money. I need to figure out how to add more to that safe money. So yeah, that's just, I'm just kind of feeling stuck a little bit, and I'm feeling not challenged, and I just don't really know. I kind of in like a transitionary period in my life where, like, the kind of work I'm doing, like, I think the big thing was that I liked doing the jobs, but I also liked the people I was working with, and I'm working with them a lot less now because the crew that I was like a core member of kind of scattered to the wind because they had agencies that hired us. They got in-house people now, and they charge them a lot less. And it's like, whoa, that's just the circle of life, and so I still get to work with those people every now and then, but it's not quite the same, and you just kind of like, man, I just kind of miss seeing your buddies on film sets and stuff. And so it's just kind of like, well, things are changing, but like, it's just, that's what it is. So that's how I'm doing. But we're almost at 2,000 subscribers. Hopefully, by the time I post this, maybe we'll be actually at 2,000 subscribers. It says 2,000 subscribers, but it's not. It's 1,999. It'd be cool if I hit refresh and it said 2,000. But I don't think that's gonna happen here. But on the plus side, I made so far in the last 28 days $20 on this channel. So it's going up. It's going. It's what is that, 1% of what it needs to be to like pay my, just to like cover basic bills. I need like two grand a month or something like that. I think I did the math, because like rent and utilities and all that stuff, insurance, like gas, garage, dog, like just all my like just normal ass bills is probably like, I mean, it's got to be like $1,700 or $1,800 a month. And then food is probably, I mean, we just went to the grocery store today, and it was like, we go to the grocery store like twice a week, and it's like, it's anywhere from like $40 to $100, just depending on what we pick up. And like lately I've been eating healthier, so it's a little more expensive, because it's like a lot more of, you know, like the healthy stuff, like Zevia is not cheap compared to like regular soda, this and that kind of stuff. So, but also with fasting, it balances out a little bit. So you figure, we'll say $100 a week realistically. So now you're at $2,100. You want to have some fun, so you know, put $200-$300 aside for that. Now you're at $2,400. You eat out, there's $100 there. That's $2,500. And then you want to be able to put something in retirement. Ideally, it would be like $500. So that's $3 grand right there. And then you also factor in like paying like the medical bills I've got going on, you know, and trying to pay off credit cards. Like, yeah, it's probably like $3,500 a month just to maintain this lifestyle. So the $20 a month is not even 1%, but that's still something, and that's still pretty fucking cool that I can talk to a camera and it makes a couple, you know, makes almost $1 a day. That's pretty fucking neat, because that makes it, if I spend a half hour talking and a half hour editing, uploading, that's like $1 an hour. We're moving on up in the world. One day I'll look back at this and be like, wow, remember when I was only making like $1 an hour? Now I'm making like 50 cents. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well, and if not, I hope that turns around for you real soon. And if you got problems, you're not feeling challenged, let's figure out a way to challenge ourselves and kind of go after it with a war club. I'm feeling more motivated this year. I feel like we're kind of coming out of the pandemic, and I want to feel. I used to have this saying that like I want to feel on fire again, and it's like I want to feel that way. I want to be really motivated to like fuck shit up. So, are you with me? I'm gonna bring back the ASMR bullet, and we're gonna go fuck shit up. So that's all I got for you today. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.